we got a little bit different type of video. This is kind of an educational video, something I've been wanting to put out for a while. It's going to be my guide on basically how to day trade crypto coins for either daily profit or for accumulation. And I'm going to do it in a few steps. Okay, so first we're going to look into the factors. Factor number one, the coin needs enough volume. You're looking at ant shared Neo, the coin's got 84 million in volume, not an issue. But if you're looking at a coin like a standard pump and dump coin that only has maybe 5 to 10 Bitcoin in volume, that's going to be a hard coin to flip because the price will be variable. It's just those buy and sell orders aren't going to be big enough. They're not going to have enough volume for you to make any actual profits. They're all going to be pretty small, and you're going to have to be pretty quick in terms of actually catching the orders. Okay. So yeah, it's going to need volume, it's going to need variance. You're not going to want to, in terms of variance, you're not going to want to trade a coin that's working on a cycle, an up and down cycle between, 90 sats and 92 sats, back down to 90 sats, up to 92 sats, because you're going to be making 2% a trade, and that's just not really worth it. I mean, it can be worth it, but there's some that are even worse that go from like 69 sats to 69.2k sats, up and down like that. That'd be a better example. 2% actually isn't that bad on a day trade. I go for anything in terms of cycle trading or just flipping in general. I go for anything. So anything over that'll give me back that 0.5%. So whenever you trade on Bittrex, whenever you submit a buy order and it fills, Bittrex is going to be taking a 0.25% commission out of that, and whenever you go around and sell it to flip it, they're going to be taking another 0.25%. So overall, in one flip, which is one buy and one sell, they're going to be taking overall 0.5%. So anything where I can make over 0.5% and get some profits on top of that, usually over 1%, pretty much always over 2%. I'll be willing to flip, because if you're putting enough volume in, then you're going to be making some good money on multiple 2% trades. And that's the thing about my first factor in identifying a coin, which is when a coin is down on a daily cycle. So you can see that actually Neo looks like it's down on a daily cycle, okay? Now Neo isn't as consistent. We can look at Funfair, which actually is more consistent in terms of its cycles. You can see yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday. It had these daily cycles that they were writing. Like, look at that. It was going down to 0.4 or to like 444, and then going up to 475, and then down to 444, up here to 468, down to 444, up to 464. That's an identifiable cycle, and it was doing this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was a backward cycle, 7, maybe 8 times, and that's over the course of what, 16 hours? You could do 7 or 8 flips in 16 hours, okay? So yeah, you're going to want to look at whenever the coin is down on a cycle. So if you can identify it early enough, you just want to throw your buy order in at 444, 445, and then throw your sell order in at 44 or at 474, 468, something like that, okay? Now this is like extremely recognizable coin to do this with. I've talked about it before, but there's some coins that are harder to identify, coins like Neo, because you're not going to know exactly how low it's going to go. It's not always going to repeat history like Fun has. Something with more volume like Neo just isn't going to act like that, because Neo has news that's acting on it and such, but that's not as big of an issue whenever we're talking about day trading. So my next factor is you buy it if it is in the middle of a breakout. So let's say you see Neo right here at right at midnight on like midnight this morning. So you see that it's at 521k sats, and you see that's going to keep going up. So you look at the studies, you look at the RSI, and you see, oh, 521k, it's not oversold, or it's not overbought, it's only at 61 on the RSI. Let's look at the stochastics. Take a look real quick, and if you look at it, it looks like it's not over 80 yet. It looks like it actually just dipped down, and it's starting to move back up, okay? That means it's going to keep rising. So it's in the middle of a breakout, okay? So this is going to be a coin that you can hop on, and you can ride it for a couple hours. Some, they'll go quicker. Some, they have a way higher, basically a way higher acceleration in terms of how fast they move. not only speed but also acceleration. You'll see some that act almost in parabolic cycles. So yeah, see that it's breaking out at 511K, 521K, something like that. Sell it at 588K, and you're making a good percentage. All right, and then you can repeat that when it dips down, because every breakout has a couple of dips. You can see it had one there, it had one there. Anything that's like over a longer period of time, if it's a straight pump and dump, it's not going to have a dip, and then I mean it will, but it's never going to go back to that price. It's not going to have a steady rise like here. Okay, and to find these, there's a lot of ways you can find the actual coins. You can sort by percent change and volume, so you get a percent change here. Look at the top 6, maybe top 10 rows, and you can just see things that are moving up. It's better to look at the ones that are maybe up like 8 to 12%, maybe like 20% max, because normally the ones that are up like 50% plus have already peaked. Sometimes they haven't. Sometimes they'll go all the way up to 100, 150%, but those are kind of rare. So it's better to, if you want to catch them early, basically you're going to want to look at the ones that are up maybe 10% and they're just starting to break out. And also you can look at the volume, the top volume traders, and see if anything's starting to move up. You can see if anything starts moving, because this is an active, or this is a live ranking of volume. So if you see like XEL start changing from 4.2% to 8.8% really quick, then you're going to want to check up on it, because it's probably breaking out. So next, when to buy and sell. This is my step 2. Buy and sell when the RSI says overbought or the stock peaks. So I've talked about this before. These are pretty simple market indicators under the study section in Bittrex. I'm not going to go into it too much because it takes a lot of explanation to really understand the stochastics. The RSI is a little simpler. RSI basically says whenever it's over 80 here, it's overbought. Whenever it's under 20, it is oversold, but you can change those to like 30, 70 if you want to be a little more conservative. Stochastics are going to tell you basically when it's going to cycle, but you can see I'm on the 30-minute chart here, and it's going to look way different on the 5-minute chart. See, it's at the bottom. It's at the way bottom on the 5-minute, okay? Which you think, oh, it's got to turn around soon, but it's been holding on the bottom for a while, so it might keep moving for a little bit. Good time to buy NEO, by the way. So, and if you look at the 1-minute, it's at the absolute bottom. It looks like it's about to move up. But if you go back to the 5-minute, it may keep moving down again because it hasn't established an actual upwards trend yet. Go back to the 15-minute, it's still moving down. It's probably going to keep moving down. Look at the 30-minute, it's not even close to the bottom. It's going to keep moving towards the bottom. So that's when you have to kind of overlay these in your head and compare them. It's a mind game. A little bit of statistics, a little bit of basic math really goes into it. So kind of maybe look into the actual definition of the stochastics, look into videos on stochastics. But RSI and stochastics are definitely, and Bollinger Bands as well, are definitely going to be the ones that will kind of tell you when things are going to happen, when these cycles are going to repeat themselves. And then finally, my final step is obviously grab profits and reinvest. I've done this on a lot of coins. I think I did this on Synex recently. I did it on Varium recently. Let me go to Varium actually real quick, and I'll show you how I made that wicked profit. This coin broke out a day or two ago. Yeah, here. I made some wicked profits through here. I think I initially bought somewhere around 75K. I just hopped on my computer, saw it breaking out, bought at 75K, sold it like 100K when it started to act as a laggard. And then, okay, let me move back a bit. We got the 5-minute, which will show us a little bit more precise. You can see it looks like a pumping up here almost, but really it was just a bunch of volume pumping in. And then I actually, it wasn't really pumping up because this lasted a pretty decent amount of time. So, I mean, it could have been organized. We still don't know at this point. I haven't really checked through the telegrams or asked around. But yeah, so sold at like 102K whenever it started to lag behind. Bought back in at like 96K and ended up selling some at the peak, some around 150K, some back around 135K whenever it started moving down. But this was one of those coins where I just kept grabbing my profits and reinvesting. So let's say I started with 1 Bitcoin, which I didn't. I started with way more actually. But let's say I started with 1 Bitcoin and I bought at 75 and sold at 100. So I made about 30%. So now you're at 1.3 Bitcoin. And then I bought again at like 96, 98. Bought with the entire 1.3 Bitcoin, sold the 1.3 Bitcoin that I made at 150, or that I sold at 150, which is an extra 50% gain on the 1.3. instead of the 1.0. Now, what you can do is you can just keep trading with the 1.0 and kind of collect your profits. But when something like this, when I knew it was a sure thing and I knew I wasn't just going to get my profits dumped on me, I just went all in with my winnings as well as my initial investment. And that's something that you kind of have to calculate. You have to see, is this risky? Is this not risky? How much should I put in? How much am I willing to risk based on my overall portfolio? So yeah, make sure to grab those profits when you can. You can tell that I grabbed them, and as soon as I saw it start to lag behind, I sold. But I kept an eye on it, okay? Because otherwise I would have missed out on that 50% I made the second pump. All right? And yeah, but I was conservative, and I sold as soon as the pump started to slow down. And that allowed me that so much that if it started to go down, and if this didn't go to 150K, if it went straight down to like 70K, then I would have still had my profits. You don't want to wait through those laggard points. You just want to buy and resell to be safe. So overall, those are my strategies on day trading.